This is the case of Asha Degree. Even though it's a cold case, there are possible updates in this case. And if you want to know more about this case, please continue watching.
Watching.
I cannot imagine having a 9-year-old child and for that child to go missing on no other day than Valentine's Day. But that is exactly what happened to 9-year-old Asha Degree. She went missing on Valentine's Day, or the morning of Valentine's Day, and it was during a rainstorm, and that doesn't make sense to me for many reasons. Now, as I said, Asha Degree went missing from her Cleveland County home, and that was in 2000 on Valentine's Day. So this year marks 23 years that she's been missing. Her mother and father say that Asha was afraid of the dark. She was also afraid of dogs, and she was also afraid of thunderstorms. Now, I know me as an adult, some of the thunderstorms, they get a little loud, so when they strike, it might cause me to jump a little bit. But I can imagine being 9 years old and that happens. It sounds much louder and much scarier to a 9-year-old than it would to an adult. And so I can understand why she would be afraid of a thunderstorm. Now, it doesn't make sense to me that she left on her own free will, because it was during a thunderstorm that night on Valentine's Day, and they think that that is when she went missing. Now, some people say that they saw her walking along the highway. And I would like to know if she was a sleepwalker and she was walking along the highway because she thought she was somewhere else. Now, I have heard of people doing weird things when they sleepwalk, like opening doors, going outside, even cooking things when they're asleep. It can range from that to many different other things. And some people have even been, known to have their eyes open while they're sleepwalking. So someone could have saw her walking down the highway, and all they did, though they didn't think anything of this about this was normal, they could have thought that she was fully awake, and she could have not been. Now, the reason I think she was sleepwalking is because I don't know of any child that can be afraid of the dark and thunderstorms to go out in the middle of the night willingly in the middle of a thunderstorm nonetheless, and just, walk along the highway or even run away. And most children, when they are that age or a little younger, they will say things like, if they're not getting their way, they'll say things like, I'm going to go and I'm going to run away to go live with the circus, or, something of a child's imagination. And as we know, that day or the day before, Asha and her basketball team had lost a game, and Asha's parents say that she took it kind of hard, so her mom and her coach had to calm her down. But later, she was seen laughing and joking with her teammates because she had gotten some candy that day for Valentine's Day, so she was, kind of happy about that. And, kids that age, they're usually happy when they get candy, so that makes sense. But no one can understand that, could that have been the reason that she might have run away during the middle of the night during a thunderstorm. I don't think that that's it. And I don't really think that she left on her own free will. I think maybe someone somehow got to her. And that's a little strange to me also, because this was the time where the internet and computers were just beginning to become a really big thing, especially in people's homes. So you had the startups of the internet and everything like that. But the Degree family said that they didn't have a computer in their home. So I don't see anyone getting through to her as far as the internet or some electronic device goes. A lot of people, had phones. So maybe she talked to someone on the phone during that time, but no one really knows. Now, several people said that they saw her walking along the highway that night, but no one called the police, which I find very, very strange. But I guess some people had that mindset that they have today that, even though if you see something, you're supposed to say something. Now, me being the type of person that I am, if I would have saw a child walking along the highway at that time of the night or morning, I would have called the police instantly, because something about that would not set right with me. But a truck driver said that he saw her walking along the highway that night, and he tried to he actually did turn around to try to talk to her. But when she saw him turn around and stop his truck to get out, she reportedly, according to him, ran into the woods. Now, I can understand her being 9 years old and thinking that, oh, I've just, run away. So, of course, my parents are going to be looking for me. So, if this man tells the police or my parents where he saw me, I'm going to be in trouble. Now, I'm wondering also that, is it possible that she could have been, walking along the highway and might have gotten hit by a car, and these people thought she was dead. So they panicked, and then they took her body and, dumped her somewhere, to make sure or hope they got rid of the evidence. And that's why she's never been found, because, they thought that once they hit her, she was dead. Is that a possibility? Or, like I said before, could she have been abducted and somebody got to her some kind of way? And also the sleepwalking theory comes back up to me. Is it possible that she could have been sleepwalking and stepped out into the road too far, and by the time she realized it and woke up, she was hit by the car because she didn't have enough time to jump out of the way, and the people then took her and got rid of her body? Now, at the time of Asha's disappearance, witnesses and the FBI believe that she left she was seen getting into a vehicle the morning that she disappeared, and the vehicle is described as a dark green, early model 1970s Lincoln Mark V, or possibly a Ford Thunderbird with rust color around the wheels. And that is according to the FBI's information that they had at the time. Now, I don't know if, this car can still be found or if work has been done on this car. But if, there are still color of cars out there with that same paint or even model, I think they all should be, tested, at least those in the area should be tested and see if they come back with any DNA belonging to her and whoever else they can find. Now, what's even stranger about this is that Asha's family last saw her sleeping in her bedroom around 2:30 a.m. on the morning that she went missing, but she was later seen around 4 a.m. walking down NC 18 in Shelby, according to the FBI information. Her parents then reported her missing at about 6:30 a.m. Now, I don't understand how she could be seen in her room at 2:30 a.m. and then 2 hours later she is seen walking down the interstate. And then after that, her family reports her missing. Now, a resident say that they found her book bag inside of a trash bag that had been thrown or buried along the Interstate 18 South in Burke County more than a year after she went missing. Now, I wonder if there are any fingerprints of other than hers and her parents, of course, on that book bag, and has it been tested? Now, I know that with time, memories fade, information gets lost due to people getting older and living life, of course. But I think that, if it is possible, that somebody should go back and interview these witnesses again to see if they can come up with any new leads or new information, even something small that they might have thought at the time was insignificant, but now could possibly be important. Like, I was watching a news clip where they said that they found a girl's picture, when they found her book bag, of course, but it wasn't a picture of Asha, and they're still trying to figure out who this girl might be, because they think that maybe that was the person that Asha thought that she was communicating with. But however, it wasn't. It was someone, a older male or something of that nature. And I also think that they should go and look to see how many registered sex offenders lived in that area at the time, and see if they can, find any link to her disappearance and those sex offenders that lived in that area or surrounding areas and counties during that time. Thankfully, every couple of years, her family receives age progressed photos of what she might look like. And this is one of the age progressed photos of what she might look like today, or even she might look a little bit older. But if you have seen anyone that might look like this, please report it to the FBI. And let them know where you saw this person, and let them know that you think this might be her, because any information, no matter how small it may seem to you, can help bring Asha home, which I know that her family is hoping for. So unfortunately, guys, that brings me to the end of this video. And if you like this video, please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. And don't forget to leave me a comment down in the comment section below. And also, if you are not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe, because liking the videos and commenting under the videos and subscribing to the channel also helps out a lot. So if you can make sure that you like the videos, leave a comment, whether it be a heart or just a sentence or something down in the comment section below, that helps out. And like I said, if you are not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. And until next time, guys, I'll see you on the next one, and thanks for watching.
23 years ago was the last time Asha Degree's parents saw their little girl. The 9-year-old Cleveland County girl went missing on Valentine's Day in 2000. While some clues have emerged about what could have happened to her, Asha still has not been found. Asha left her bedroom in the overnight hours with her book bag. Two people separately reported seeing a little girl walking along Highway 18 around 4 in the morning. A year and a half later, her book bag was found 30 miles away in Burke County. Inside was a children's book belonging to the library of Asha's school and a new Kids on the Block t-shirt which did not belong to Asha. In 2016, the Cleveland County Sheriff said detectives were looking for information about a car that looked like this, dark green, possibly an early 1970s Lincoln Continental Mark IV or possibly a Ford Thunderbird. Asha may have gotten into the car on the night she disappeared. No matter how Asha left home, the fact does remain. She was only this 9-year-old little girl. Someone else likely had to play a role in what happened to her. It's the heartbreaking reality for her parents, Aquila and Asha Degree. They have had to deal with this agony every single day for the last 23 years. Over the years, we've sat down with the Degree family as they endlessly search for answers. And this year, we wanted to learn more about who Asha was, her personality, her hobbies and interests. Our Greg Simpson uses his camera to show us who Shelby's sweetheart was.
We're just going to continue to search. We're going to give up till she's back home.
We get it out, and I want to keep it out so nobody forgets in case somebody has seen something. Never thought it would be 23 years. 23 years ago when this happened, never thought it would still be 23 years later and we know nothing. She was a happy kid. She, like her dad, she's quiet. She was quiet, liked everybody. Now, she didn't like some stuff. She didn't like cheerleading. Certain foods she didn't like, but she got along with everybody, and she always wanted everybody to get along. If she thought you was mad at her, she'd give you the shirt off her back if she had to so you wouldn't be mad at her no more. She loved her daddy to death. She loved the brother to death. She thought Harold hung the moon. And her brother, I didn't allow them to argue, so they would get mad at each other, but they couldn't stay. She would always say she can't stay mad at him because O'Brien always did something to make her laugh. But everybody that met her, she talked to anybody. That might have been the downfall, but we don't know.
Johnson, three-pointer.
NBA All-Star Weekend, last year Michael Jordan played actually. And we was sitting there watching the game, and right when it was in the first quarter, all the power went out. My brother-in-law came home and he told us it was a bad wreck because my mother-in-law stayed across the road, and that's what caused the power to go out. Sister-in-law came across the road, and me and her and the kids sit there talking and stuff, and then I had my watch on, and I realized it was about 9:30, and I told them, I said, well, y'all need to get ready to go to bed, I said. So they went put their clothes on, and I ain't even sleeping. Well, just lay there. You'll eventually go to sleep. So I just laid on the couch because nothing else to do, no lights on or nothing. But I did doze off to sleep, and when I woke up, I guess it was about midnight because the power kicked back on and the lights was on. It scared me because it made a big thump, and it was a power jolt, and that's how I know it's about 12 o'clock. And that was the last time she kissed me goodnight, and that was February the 13th, 2000. I think it was about 9:30 p.m. That was the last time that I saw her.
Asha's disappearance has left a void for not only her family, but also law enforcement. We sat down with a Cleveland County detective who's been working on this case for the past 11 years. He describes the toll this case has taken on him and where the investigation stands right now. That's coming up in our next half hour at 7:30, so stay tuned for that.